Maybe herbal tea will help.
That could be soothing.
Herbal tea and a hot tub. Hi, everybody. It's the Todd and Erin daily stream. Tomorrow, actually today. Holy crap, it's today.
It is today, Friday, today.
Oh, it's about to start.
The race.
It's too late.
In minutes.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's the Tour de Utah, Tour de France.
Tour de something.
It's the bike race, the professionals, tight.
Now, it's really exhilarating.
Shorts.
It's very exciting, and they have like massive film crews that go with them, and it's majestic.
This is what it looks like. 2 police cars come down the street, lights are going, okay? Followed by 2 motorcycle cops, followed by a crazy person on a motorcycle with a guy behind him facing the wrong way with a camera. Then the bikes come, 60 bikes, 70 bikes, they go. And then all the support vehicles follow them. This is all like 60 miles an hour down our street because it's a hill. So here's the route. South Temple, City Park, back up, 11th, past the old cemetery, back down. Like that, and it takes about 15 minutes for them to ride that, which would take me, I don't know, how long would it take the pioneers to get here?
Probably about the same speed as an ox, and I can understand that. And they do that, what, 3 times?
Until someone dies.
But you were telling me this is an unspeakable level of speed, and you were telling me that this is all based on, what, like a 1/4 inch of tire on the ground?
Well. Picture a cheap hot dog.
Okay.
Not a good hot dog.
Not the nice ones.
Not a Polish dog at Costco.
No, none of those.
Talking about those thin ones. That's as much rubber is on the tire. Does that make any sense?
So that's basically what's keeping you from death on the pavement.
So basically you're trying to get, and to go faster, the size of a 1/4 of rubber on the front and the back to keep you from dying. Now the problem is that go uphill, flat, we can go fast, and then they come down our hill. And they are in high gear and pedaling as fast as they can. And for some reason, I don't like NASCAR for this reason. I know something's going to happen. I know the person in front's going to fall, and everyone's going to pile on, and it's going to be one big scab.
That's the most horrifying description I've ever heard.
I got like 15 minutes before they start screaming past our house.
Yeah, we're pretty much out of luck. We're stuck here. We can't even get to our cars now.
I've already prepared. I've got 2 bottles of Bactine. So,
just see you out there, okay?
Don't fall.
It's like bug spray.
And they do a nice thing. They walk around with orange paint on the route, and they mark like sewer lids and
that's thoughtful.
Water mains and stuff or a bump because they're going 80 miles an hour.
Well, the thing that I don't understand about this, the air quality is slowly improving in some places, they say. But there's certain hot spots around the state where...
Because of the fires.
The wildfires have just done ridiculous things in terms of smoke. For instance, right now in Spanish Fork, the air quality indexes are red. That's pretty much what they say is, well, it's red now. When it gets to red, it means you're going to die.
We've had that during the inversion during the winter, but isn't it like at a count of like 224 or something?
It's 242.
Which we don't know what that means.
Which is so much higher, but
that means it's the worst they've seen?
Well, the thing that I thought was sort of entertaining, and it's not really very funny, but it's the Department of Environmental Quality, and they said, this is a red zone, so that means that you should not go outside.
Okay.
Well, I have to do that because I go to work or I'm taking my kids somewhere. Well, then don't breathe.
Don't breathe. Put your car and recirculate the air as opposed to bringing new in.
It just leaves you in this position where, like, I'm really not sure where to go with this because apparently I'm going to die, but
Here's the thing to worry about. If your house is cooled with a swamp cooler, it's dragging air in.
Oh, yeah.
We've done that at one of our houses. We had swamp coolers.
And remember, and the smoke?
It would bring the fire smoke in, and you would smell it, and you were like, okay, I guess we're just going to die of heat then. So turn it off and wait until something clears.
We just go down to 7-Eleven and hang out by the coolers.
Just open the ice chest. And
we're not homeless. We just really like
yourself in, right?
I probably shouldn't have admitted that, huh? Yeah. Okay, moving on though.
Might have been the ice cream.
Zucchini.
Oh, zucchini. We've been goofing about this.
Now this was essentially kind of a joke, although I would like to point out that our friends and family and other people have been dropping by their bounty because this is the time of year where everything hits at once, especially all the squash. And so they've been dropping it off on our front porch in the middle of the night when we can't catch them.
And I've never had enough light to actually do a vegetable garden. And so
So
now
we have a little bit too.
Now I realize that 4 zucchini plants is too many. 1 is good. And so you get all this extra stuff. We've been joking about it, but we got a message on Facebook.
Well, I was really appreciative of this. This guy was really smart because basically what he said, please don't throw it away. There's actually somewhere it can go. And we were joking. We wouldn't obviously throw it away. But it's really cool. This is from Michael Henry. He said, consider donating your excess harvest and letting other people know about it. Studies show that if only 30% of the fruits and vegetables that go to waste every year here in Utah could be collected, that it would
30% of a garden.
Imagine, he said it would make a significant impact on hunger in Utah. And he's talking about Backyard Garden Share. Backyard Garden Share. And basically they help local neighborhoods rescue and share their surplus homegrown vegetables and fruits with local families, refugees, and immigrants who have little or no access to fresh produce.
And it sounds like they do the job because they organize. They organize neighborhoods.
So, yeah, and there's little clicky things there, and so you can click on what's closest to you or how you can donate. I mean, it was really well organized.
What's the site again?
It's backyardgardeningshare.org. I'm saying this badly, sorry. Backyardgardenshare.org.
If only you knew about this when your parents' apricot tree fruited. She hates apricots because they all had to pick them up. And I see them
and then there's the wasps that like...
And I find them as like a tropical fruit coming from the East Coast. I'm like, and it's my favorite. My treat when I was a kid was apricot nectar.
You were just the saddest little thing. Were you raised in a closet?
I married you.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But anyway, backyardgardenshare.org. That's really cool. So we have lots to share.
Here's another great thing going on in Utah. And it's going on in other cities too.
I just think this one's brilliant. This actually came from Mike Ackerlow, who was, I guess, in the city last year, and he'd come up with this idea. And even though he's left to go to a charity position for the homeless,
right.
He's collaborating again this year. But basically, they call it Project Homeless Connection. And what they do is this is a place where the homeless can come. They can get medical care, dental care. They can talk about drug abuse. They can talk about legal issues and get that stuff. They can talk about housing. They can talk about their kids and where they get services for this thing or that thing. But what was beautiful, over 784 people came to the event. And these were things as simple as getting haircuts and shaves and maybe going through some of the closets and finding work outfits or things that you could apply for work in.
But the cool thing about this and reading through this is the fact that they're going out and getting barbers and they're getting hairstylists and they're getting people who can shave and they're getting people that can do all these medical things and all this stuff. What they do is part of the 800 volunteers. They will say, John, this is Mary and her kids, or this is Bill and his brother, or whatever. And you, as a volunteer, walk them from place to place
so you're
kind of getting help.
You're kind of their person, and if they have trouble maybe communicating or they're not sure, or you're there for them. And this was the part that I thought was beautiful. And he said, the main thing the homeless individuals said last year is they were grateful for all of the help. They said what meant the most to them is they were recognized as a person, to have someone look into their eyes without fear or judgment and see them that they were a human being. And if you think about this, and I know I've done this myself, where people might have approached me in a parking lot or whatever and start asking, and I go, I'm sorry, I don't have any money, because I use a debit card. I used a debit card to get like a 50-cent candy bar for Zoe.
You donate, and we donate
to the road home.
To the road home and to other agencies that help the majority, not just one person.
This is true. But the thing that I also realize I do is I don't look at them. I just turn my head like I'm dismissing this. And that has got to be awful. Imagine going through life and nobody wants to see you.
Right.
After a while, you'd start thinking you were invisible. I don't exist because...
And this isn't even if they're begging for money or they're panhandling. This is just that they're sitting in a corner on a bench.
So this is, this is your chance to make this human being feel alive again.
Idea.
But they really do need at least 800 volunteer slots, because they had almost 1,000 homeless last year, and now that there's a better understanding and more awareness, and they're spreading the word, they're anticipating it might double or triple.
Now we have good news for you. It's not until October 12th.
So you got some time to work up to this.
Yeah.
Schedule things, get ready.
Get your group, get your office, get your church, get everybody ready to go. And you can be the spearhead person in charge. Now
you can visit phcslc.org. That's phcslc.org. slc.org. I'll also put this up on our Facebook page so you can catch it there. And if you like, you can go to our new Facebook page, Tell Me Something Good, which is all good news, all happy things, all inspiring things, because God knows we all need that these days. And we'll also have the information there. So I'm so excited. We're totally going to do this.
All right, so coming up next, Dr. Julie Hanks. And she is a what? A
doctor.
Yes, of psychology. And she's been offering her services endlessly for years and years, but we haven't accepted it yet.
Well, for us mentally, but she actually has far more inspiring and interesting things to talk about.
And we'll talk to her coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com. And by Brio Technologies. They rent, sell, and install audiovisual components, including professional sound, lighting, video, and intercom systems, components, projectors, interactive whiteboards, and classroom audio systems. Just go to BrioAudiovisual.com. One of my favorite things in the world is hanging out with Dr. Julie Hanks. Now, she's one of my favorite girls because I feel like every time we hang out together, we solve all the problems of the planet. So we met for lunch at Fat Jack's Burger Emporium downtown, and here's what happened. I don't think I know any actually perfect women. I know a lot of women that come close, and you're certainly one of them. But you know, it's like that thing that we all like. I suck. I suck at almost everything. I'm not perfect. No matter how well you do, you're never going to be good enough. And everything I've read, I mean, we make a joke of that we have the highest antidepressant use in the country here, but there's a reason for that.
And plastic surgery rates that are pretty high.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So this perfectionism thing is pretty common in Utah, unfortunately.
Pervasive, and I'm afraid deeply rooted, because it's been here since I can remember.
In my practice, I hear a lot of clients who are Mormon or Christian use the scripture, "Be therefore perfect." It's
no pressure there.
From
That's
the New
great.
Testament. And so what I like to do is reframe that and say the Greek word that was translated as perfect is really teleos, which means whole, ripe, or complete. It does not mean externally flawless. So we've interpreted a scripture from the Bible to mean something that it wasn't intended to mean. We're not going to be flawless. We're designed to be imperfect. I like to say, go for good enough. What's good enough? Am I a good enough mom? Yeah, I'm a good enough mom.
I haven't set anything on fire today. The kids are breathing.
They're still, I mean, it just change that expectation to, instead of perfection, to good enough.
It's a hard switch for a lot of people.
It is, but that is my mantra. Like, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I grew up in a high achieving family. I had high expectations of myself, and I have had to go for good enough. Another one of my favorite mantras for perfectionism is anything worth doing is worth doing badly. So
you better explain that.
It's just like you don't have to do things perfectly. You don't have to be stellar. You don't have to be excellent in everything you do. Anything worth doing is worth taking a chance and messing up.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, whatever. And not being so paralyzed. Because perfectionism can paralyze a lot of people. A lot of people who look like underachievers are really perfectionists who are paralyzed.
I would like to try this, but I know I won't be perfect, so I'm just going to stand on the sideline forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Like, just take a chance, take a stab at it, you know?
What can we do is in our group of girls where we can kind of dispel some of this? Is there a way to break up some of that energy so that we're not trying to out-perfect the other?
Yeah, I think the more we get real with each other, the better it is. Like, the more willing I am to say, look, my marriage is struggling, or my kids are struggling, or man, I cannot lose those 20 pounds. What's going, you know, like, just getting real about what's happening. I think that's so refreshing. You know, when you walk into somebody's house and it's a mess and they don't apologize.
No, okay, what's up? Come on in.
It's like, people live here, you know? Just being more authentic in who we are gives other people the freedom to do that around us.
I saw the most amazing scene on Desperate Housewives where one of the women had actually ripped off her kid's Ritalin, and she was just like totally doing everything perfectly because she had all the energy in the world. And finally, of course, she crashed, and her 3 girlfriends found her sitting on the football field, and she's crying in the bushes. And they all went, God, no, and they started sharing. You're right, just the way you were talking about. No, but mine was like this, and no, I haven't talked to my husband. And they went on for about 5 minutes. She goes, why don't we ever tell each other these things? And you're right, it was that one magical moment where everybody was finally being completely authentic.
Instead of pretending, no one has things put together. And that is the best thing about being a therapist, is I get to see that even the most put together people have parts of life that are just a mess, and it's okay. Like, we're all a mess. Really, when you pull back the curtain, we all have burdens, we all have struggles, and imperfections are what make us unique.
I love this. All right, where can they go for more information? Because I know you have a great website. Well, you have 2, but there's always like resources. Like if you need therapists, there's always more information. You've got great stories, great information.
Blog articles and parenting articles, different things. Wasatchfamilytherapy.com or drjuliehanks.com.
Now, can we get your books on drjuliehanks.com as well?
Yeah, there are links to my book on there.
Very cool. All right, Julie, thank you so much. That was really amazing.
Thanks, Erin.
That is funny, though. I always loved that scene, though.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by Magic Wash, home of the ultra-durable ceramic car wash to keep your car looking clean and pretty for longer. 2 locations in Layton and South Ogden. And also by New Millennium Group, financial advisors to help you grow into financial security. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com for a free Social Security optimization report.
Time for Tell Me Something Good, brought to you by PC Laptops.
PC Laptops, they have laptops and desktops starting at
$7.99. Plus the fact is when you buy one, lifetime parts and labor, for $7.99, if you want something simple, you can communicate with your grandkids, or if you're
just going to go on Twitter and that's all you care about, they'll make it affordable.
Launch a new rocket to Mars, they have those too. Matter of fact,
we might have one of those squatting in our basement right now. We think it's running the space shuttle in its spare time.
The space shuttle isn't even space. So anyway, if you're looking for a computer, Dan supports us. We support him.
10 locations. Just go to PCLaptops.com. You can find one close.
Something good.
Now, do you remember when you had your senior picture taken? Was it like a big deal?
No, we didn't do it.
You didn't have senior pictures?
No.
What kind of freaks are you?
We had a graduation picture. Everybody's got everybody's in a group in their class.
But you didn't have individual pictures where you were wearing like the cheesy suit, or I had like the off-shoulder velvet gown.
We had a prom picture. Is that what you were talking about?
But in the yearbook, you didn't have like a senior
wasn't part of our life. No.
Well, here it was not that big a deal. Basically, they give you this velvet off-shoulders thing. I wore it.
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah. And wagon wheels on a bridge.
No. It was just the standard school, like the school photographer did it.
Oh, for the yearbook. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, those. Yes, we did those.
But that was just like the cattle call, like you see in elementary school.
Right.
They're like, take a picture and
Next.
go. Yeah.
You got a lot of zits. Leave.
But now it's a big deal, and they like pick areas and they have backdrops and different outfits.
Right, I've seen this. Right.
Different looks, and it's like hardcore. This is something where they're like, this is my statement. This is what I'm doing. Well, there was a pretty amazing girl, Sydney Johansson. Had her photo shoot ready to go. She planned it. She kind of knew what she wanted to do. She'd gone through some outfits. Her mom, Laura, was there.
Done.
And she had gotten the photo shoot all set up. And the photographer came over. And they're like, okay, we're ready. And they're at the first location.
Right.
And the skies opened up. And everything went straight to hell. I mean, rain was coming down. We've had those kind of rain showers here where it is so intense you can't even breathe through the drops.
So what does she do?
And so they're sitting there, the 3 of them, their lovely photographer, Jessica, and then Laura and her daughter Sydney, and they go, what are we going to do?
Why didn't they just reschedule?
Well, Laura went over. They really couldn't, because they had a certain amount of time before things had to be sent into the yearbook.
She also has surgery coming up because she has cerebral palsy.
That was the big thing.
This was the big thing.
This was a big deal. So basically, Sydney and Laura went over and asked there was a Starbucks like right across the street, and said, would you mind if this is my daughter. This is her yearbook pictures. It's really important. Could we do it here?
Right.
Now, this is literally like a hurricane-based win. And this was adorable. And then the counter guy goes, well, absolutely, you should do that.
And he actually goes out and puts an umbrella over her because she's all dressed up and over her wheelchair.
He got soaking wet so he could keep Sydney dry with his umbrella. And once they were all inside, he gave them towels so they could all dry off.
Right.
And then he, along with some of the other baristas, had the family move. They actually moved like furniture and fixtures.
Stuff off the walls.
And anyone who was drinking their cup of coffee just moved over like, no problem, go
Right.
ahead. And which is the part I love. After getting inside, we greeted her with hot chocolate made with soy milk because they were unsure of allergies. Oh my gosh, I love
They made
this.
signs. They found paper and they made signs and they hung them up on the brick wall behind her.
He pulled out markers and colored paper to make a little backdrop, rearranged the
Oh my
items, and
gosh.
even upon leaving, he wouldn't let us pay for more coffee. We were there for a good hour at least, taking up the bathroom, as it was no easy feat to change Sydney, and we had several outfits.
Right.
And addition to setting up
Such
for
a
the
great
shoot, the baristas were like, no, let's feed you. Here, you need more coffee.
That's such a great thing.
I think that's adorable. So basically, Jessica, who's their wonderful photographer, was so moved by this
Right.
that she put up this series of pictures from Sydney's photo shoot and how amazing and how beautiful this girl is. And I guess how amazing to me is that they made her feel like a goddess.
Yeah.
They made her feel like a little princess. And if anyone deserves it, I think it would be the spunky little girl in a wheelchair who was like so super determined that she was going to have like the best senior pictures
Dang
ever.
you, Starbucks
And
keeps
she
sucking
did.
me back in.
And she did.
You just want me to say grande instead of large.
I'm going to go in and get a hot chai tea latte tomorrow. I don't care if it's hot outside.
There's a crazy man outside. There's a crazy man outside in the wilderness doing very strange things with large animals.
Is this really a story we can be covering
This
here?
story could go anywhere. at
That's
this
where I'm
point.
sweating here.
This recent one happened at Yellowstone National Park, and this gentleman from Oregon was arrested for harassing a bison. Now, there is a
Is that a good idea?
there's a video going around.
We'll show you in a minute.
It's a 2-lane road. Cars are stopped. Cars are stopped.
Because, if there's a bison, he gets right away because he's bigger than you. So.
And the crazy boy jumps out of his car. He's like 50. Jumps out of his car and runs over. Now he's wearing like short shorts.
Like super short, like the kind your dad wore like in the 70s until they all figured out mid-thigh was better.
Or Australians.
Australians.
Who I love.
Totally.
Jumps out and starts challenging this bison, clapping his hands, throwing rocks at him. And the bison's like, I will kill you.
And he even charges it. But, the bison put up with it for a really long time until finally I was
Right.
like, oh, for hell's sake, I'm going to charge you. And he just kind of and made a gesture
you're
and
like-
walked away again.
So you're like, oh, okay. Well, the enforcement
stupid-
came and they
That is
realized-
illegal, by the way, to harass wildlife.
Absolutely.
You can't unsettle them and scream at them and throw things at them. You can understand that in a national park that would be ill-advised.
So basically, they arrested him. He's 55 years old. It's Ranky, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Ranky. They found out that this isn't his first time.
No, and as a matter of fact, when they noticed this, then they had someone call them from Grand Teton, and they had someone call them from the Yellowstone National Parks, and they said, do you have Ranky, that guy? Could you make sure he doesn't get out? Because apparently he had also been arrested being drunk and disorderly at Grand Tetons, where he
Right.
was found hurling beer bottles at some of the local elk. And then once again, he was found screaming. I guess the exact sheriff's thing is screaming uncontrollably while throwing rocks at a group of, is it elk? What are the
Yes,
ones with
yes.
little white belts? Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 different parks, and this man just can't keep it together. It's like, what do you have against them?
Let's go through a random list of hobbies, shall we?
Sure.
Gardening.
That's a very pleasant gardening thing. Yes, lovely. Soothing.
Another one.
Running. You could take up running or jogging. Sure.
Macrame.
Macrame's nice.
Whittling.
Embroidery.
Anything.
Writing poetry.
Except for chasing large wild animals.
Why would you throw beer bottles at elk?
What's your issue, sir?
But apparently, because he cannot stop himself from harassing animals, then they're actually keeping him locked up until his trial, because they're like,
They'll let him
you're
out.
just going to do it again.
He's going to get gored. Here is the statement from the Yellowstone officials, and I read, the visitors are warned to stay at least 25 yards away. Now, to make sure our European friends know, it's 23 meters away from a bison.
There, Eva Maria, that was for you, honey.
You cannot outrun a bison. 25 yards is not a head start unless you're standing next to your car.
Are they they're like a ton, right? Like they weigh like about 2,000 pounds?
I don't know how much they weigh, but there's horns in the front.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so that's not something you
What do you have against them? I mean, who goes to 3
You know what they need to do? They need to take away his national park card, because evidently
Apparently.
he's got one to everything.
So I think we've learned some important things today. Number
We
one,
have.
don't harass wildlife.
Know what to do with your zucchini, and I mean that in a good way.
Starbucks is awesome, and also
Right.
you can all help at the homeless fair with us.
800 coming up October.
And you can also share your bounty from your garden with the rest of those here in Utah that are hungry and could really use it.
And check out our new Facebook page.
Tell me something good. It's pretty cool. We're doing a gift card giveaway there for back to school, so we would love to have you stop by.
Great stories, and we want yours too. So thanks very much. Monday, have a great weekend. First of all, I gotta
What are
go
we doing
watch.
Monday?
I gotta go watch the bike race at Die. Where's my Bactine? We'll see you, Todd and Erin Daily Stream. We'll see you Monday. No, seriously, where's my Bactine?
Really, honey? They have paramedics.
I usually
They
put
have
it
like
in the drawer.
helicopters, like